Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As we are fast approaching the end of 2017, I thought I would quickly talk you through what my top 10 shows of 2017 have been. It's been another brilliant year of theatre and I'm very glad that I'm able to say that. Won't it be sad if one year I'm like, yeah, that was an alright year of theatre going, wasn't it? No, it's been a brilliant year, not only in London, but also regional, and also I went to New York, so a bit of Broadway sprinkled in there as well. And yes, I'm going to go through my top 10 shows. It's been really hard putting this list together, and I know for a fact once I'm finished doing this video, once I've posted it, I'm going to be like, why didn't I say this show? Or why didn't I even think of putting that show on the list? But I've written it now, I'm happy with it in this moment. Whether that'll stay the case, I do not know. It's a really hard thing to put together. Also, before I crack on with my list, obviously I'd love to know your list in the comments below, and I'd love to know if some of the shows that I'm mentioning are on your list, so please do let me know in the comments as you're watching. Obviously, I'm going to go from 10 and then up to 1 because that's way more exciting. Is that not how these lists work? At number 10, I've put the Heather's Workshop at the Other Palace, which I saw, I believe it was in June, obviously, of this year. I love the Other Palace. Just need to put that out there straight away. I love this theatre. I know for some people it's not their favourite, but for me, it's definitely one of my favourites, and I love what they are doing with the workshop series that happened for the first time this year. I love what they're doing at the Other Palace, especially in terms of bringing in new musicals. Heather's was a show that I'd obviously heard of, but I had not listened to anything from it as I do. I'd kept myself totally blind from it, so I could see it in its entirety from the first time I saw it. But when I knew this workshop was happening, I knew I had to go. So Sean and I went and we had a really nice time, and the cast of this show was just incredible. That's another reason why I was like, I have to book. It was just such an awesome time seeing the workshop of the show, and I am so excited. Fingers crossed it will be at the Other Palace, hopefully. I'd say within the next year, maybe. I have my hopes up, but at least within the next couple of years, I think that's definitely viable. At number 9, I've put On the Town at Regent's Park, because it's always lovely to go to Regent's Park when it's an actual sunny day, and this definitely happened when I went. I remember it being really warm and I was sweating loads, which is not cute. I loved this show. I had a really nice time seeing it. Again, it was a show that was just new to me. The cast was incredible. There's a lot of people in there that I love watching, and I've watched in more shows since then, which is always really nice. And I just think the atmosphere of the open air theatre is one of the main amazing things of it. There's nothing quite like watching a show out in the open, in the elements, though thankfully it was just nice and sunny when I went. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the show. Even though I went on my own, I have like really happy memories when I think of that trip. So that was really lovely. I really enjoyed it. At number 8 on my list, I have Our Ladies of Perpetual Succour, which was at the Duke of York's Theatre. I almost didn't go to see this show, but my friend Olivia had seen it and loved it, so I was like, well, if Olivia loves it, I'm probably going to at least enjoy it, so I'll go along. And I did, and I had a great time. Again, went on my own but had a blast. Always go to the theatre on your own if no one else is able to go with you. Don't miss out on seeing amazing theatre just because no one else is free to go with you. Just a little side note there, but I just think, why not? It's fine to go to the theatre on your own. You still have a great time. Literally, what, 2 of the shows so far on this list, 2 out of 3, I went to on my own. Don't be afraid of solo theatre going. That's that little side note done. Yeah, Our Ladies, it totally threw me by surprise. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. Also, the way the story took a turn really took me by surprise, and it was just really great to see how many levels that show could have, and the girls in it were insanely talented. So good. At number 7 on my list, I have Dreamgirls the musical, which is still currently playing at the Savoy Theatre. I've actually seen this show 4 times this year, so obviously I've enjoyed it. I've been to see this show with Sean and Olivia, And yeah, it's a really fun show. I feel like I've needed to take a break from it recently. The last time that I saw it with Sean, we both kind of felt a bit about it. So that was a sign. I was like, I need to take a break. Not see it for a while, but the cast has recently changed, so I'm excited to go back and see the new cast members. But no, I just think it's a really, really good show. There are obviously some massive power numbers, and there's something about it. It leaves you happy, even though there's some sad bits of the story. I don't know, it just feels, it's a very powerful show, a sort of empowering show, not just powerful, empowering. At number 6 on my list, I've put the comedy about a bank robbery, which I first saw this year. In fact, this year was the first time that I saw The Play That Goes Wrong and also the comedy about a bank robbery. Out of those two though, I personally preferred the comedy about a bank robbery. For me, I felt like it just had more of a sort of actual storyline rather than just stuff going wrong. I thought some of the effects that they did really blew me away, and I just laughed so much. And with what's going on in the world, you need a laugh, don't you? I really enjoyed watching that, and I really want to go back and see it again soon. At number 5 on my list, I've put Romantics Anonymous, which I saw at the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse. As much as my experience of this show was not like comfortable, I spoke in the vlog about the fact that the seating was rubbish. The show itself was so lovely, and I just really enjoyed the way they did it all, in terms of how they used the space and like the little bits pre-show, and even like the interval entertainment, and just yeah, the way they did the whole show I just thought it was really lovely. The music by Cumin and Diamond I really enjoyed, because I enjoy them as a duo. And it was just a really lovely show, and it's still on at the moment, so I'd recommend, if you're coming down to London in the next couple of weeks, I think it finishes in January, I can't remember when, definitely try and see it. It's just such a heartwarming show. I'm really hoping they release a cast recording as well. I'd like to hear more of it again. At number 4 on my list, I put Waitress the musical, which I saw in September on Broadway at the Brooks Atkinson Theatre. Oh my goodness, I adored this show, and I've listened to the cast recording so much since seeing it. As I've already mentioned, I like to go into shows blind, but with this show I had heard, I think, just 2 of the songs from it, because Rachel Tucker had performed them in concerts, so she's always spoiling stuff for me. But yeah, I'd heard a couple of the songs, but still didn't really know the full story and such. And I just found myself falling in love with the show. And also it was amazing to see Betsy Wolfe performing live, because she's someone that I've listened to on cast recordings and things like that. And obviously, like, when it's people in America and on Broadway and you're over here in the UK and you finally get to see some of these people that you've just listened to, you get to see them in the flesh, that's obviously amazing. And I got to meet her at stage door as well, and she was really nice, and it was just a very wholesome, lovely experience. At number 3 on my list, I've put Half a Sixpence, which was at the Noel Coward Theatre. This show, whenever I think about it, it just warms my heart so much. It's kind of similar to Singing in the Rain, and how that show just made me feel so happy. It felt like a really kind of classic British musical, and had an amazing cast like Charlie Stemp and Emma Williams and Gerard Carey, and I just loved it. And I'm so sad that it's no longer in the West End. I first saw it, must have been, I think, January with Sean, and it's like one of the first theatre trips we did together as well, so I have like that special memory attached to it. But also they did an amazing bloggers event, I think in April. There's obviously vlogs of pretty much everything that I'm talking about on my channel. They'll all be linked in the description. But the bloggers event, we got to go backstage, we got to chat with the cast beforehand, we got to dance on the stage, we got to learn some of the choreography. So I just have really amazing memories attached to seeing this show in this year. And it just makes me really sad that I'm not gonna see it again for like the foreseeable future. Whoa, that got sad really quickly. Oh, it was a really lovely show to see, and yeah, I'm sad it's gone. Oh. At number 2 on my list, I've put Come From Away, which I saw on Broadway at the Gerald Schoenfeld Theatre. Again, this was a show that I knew nothing about going into. That's a lie. I knew what it was about, like the general gist, but none of the music, and it blew me away. It was such a simply put together but really powerful show. The whole cast were incredible. It was very much an ensemble piece. The music was just insane. It's another cast recording that I'm obsessed with and I can just listen to for hours and hours on end. And yeah, the impact of the piece and the way that they portray such a heartbreaking event, but still in a really kind of heartwarming way. It was incredible and I loved seeing it. And yeah, fingers crossed that I'll be in London fairly soon. I say fairly soon. Next couple of years, probably. And number 1 on my list, you've probably guessed it, but it's Hamilton. Obs. Now seen Hamilton twice at the Victoria Palace Theatre. It opened on the 6th of December. So yes, I've already seen it twice this month. Yeah. I could be turning into Hamiltrash, but I can't afford to. I literally can't afford to be obsessed with physically going to see this show, but it is that good. I was seriously worried that the hype would have ruined it for me. It's one of the few shows that I've listened to the cast recording many times before seeing the show, and I was scared. I was worried, but thankfully, no, it was just brilliant. The first time I saw it, I did the returns queue on their first Saturday evening performance because I just went mental and I was like, I need to see it. Like Sean had seen it, Olivia had seen it, and I was just so salty. I was like, oh God, I need to see it. So I did. And then the second time I saw it, it was the tickets that I booked when it went on sale in January. So yeah, I've already seen it twice. I've already seen both of the Hamiltons. So main Hamilton, Jamal, and the alternate Ash. Obviously both those trips have been fully vlogged and they're on my channel. I've become obsessed with this show. It is that good. And I kind of wish it wasn't, because then my bank account would not suffer. It's just great though. And it's exciting to have something this big in London. I feel like it's been a bit of a while since so much hype has been around a show. Probably the last time was like Cursed Child, and that feels like ages ago. So it's nice to have something that's kind of like hyping up the theatre community again. Well, there we have it, my top 10 shows of 2017. I would love to know if you agree or disagree. Politely though, if you disagree with any of these, I respect your opinion, but let's be respectful in the comments, because I would hate for it to become nasty in the comments section. I'm sure you wouldn't, but you know, there are some people out there. So yeah, let me know. And if your list completely differs to mine, I would still love to know in the comments below, because I'm so fascinated to see what other people have been to see in the year and like what has been your favorites. So please do let me know. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are new and you're not yet a subscriber. I make a lot of theatre content, so if you enjoy theatre, stick around. I hope you're doing really well and you've had a lovely festive period and you are looking forward to starting 2018. I hope you'll have a great start to the year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!